Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm in my FV215B. I just bought this tank back. I had 4 games in it, and then I had already bought the Chieftain, so I was just comparing this to see if it was any different or better, and I just didn't like the play style compared to the Chieftain, so I sold it. I kind of needed silver, and now that I got pretty much every line done, I'm just trying to get my tier 10s back that were, well, I guess I'd like all tier 10s. However, there's a couple that I just don't have interest in. I used to own the 113, and that tank is trash. And then I've never owned the Jageru. I'm not going to waste your time with that. I'm just going to jump into the game. Now I was contemplating whether I actually make a video out of this one or not. And then at the end, I'll share, I guess, why I made the video. It is a pretty interesting game, so I was on the verge of whether I want to do this or not. But so we're on Northwest Standard Battle. I'm flying solo. There's 3 tier 10s on my team. They have 4. And actually we each have 2 tier 10 tanks, and then we have 1 tier 10 Arty, they have 2 tier 10 Artys, and then we have 3 tier 8 Artys, so there's a lot of Arty in this match. Usually where I go on this map is going to be the bottom right hand corner, or southeast corner, whatever you want to call it. Try to win that choke and then figure out what's coming down the 1, 2, 3 line and decide whether I need to go back, maybe cut through the middle, or if I can proceed up to their base. Don't have a lot of support. Do have heavies on the other road, so as long as I just make sure my push coordinates with their positioning, we should be okay here. This isn't the greatest Arty map, but there's definitely some firing lanes. Our scout hasn't spotted anything, which kind of makes me nervous. The 9 line is definitely like an Arty haven along with the 8 line. So as I make this push, I'm going to show you guys where and why I go where I go. Alright, so I hug this mountain, and I'm in an opening, but I don't get spotted. I also don't have a very good crew in this, because I just didn't have a good British crew to put in. And then the scout spots this Sturval sitting on the mountain here, and as long as he stays back, I'm not going to be spotted. But I'm really worried about crossing right here, because if I get spotted, Arty could just rain hell upon me. They do have a 430U and a 110 here. I'm not really worried about that 110 at all. 430U, I know I can out DPM him in this tank, as long as he's not hull down. So the 430U slaps me. You can see I'm hugging this lake or river as much as I can, because I want to get behind this mountain so Arty can't hit me. And then I also have this little lip here to be able to be hull down against these guys. So this 110 looks for a shot on me, and there's no way he's going to be able to get through my turret. Unless he shoots HE into the top of my turret, into my viewport, he might get some damage then. And Object 430 is looking for a shot, probably with this heat round into my turret. And then this 1390 comes over. And that's great, dude. You want to get some damage before you die. Put him down. And now as I turn around, I see the 110s pushing on me, which is laughable. I don't even know what this guy is thinking. And then we do have an Arty spotted in C6. I know I'm not going to get hit by Arty if I stay behind this mountain. Now as I progress up here, I really start to open up the lanes. And of course, there it is. Arty smacks me. There's a leopard in the back trying to snipe these guys, so I'm just trying to give them some cover fire. Our Carnarvon finishes up the 110, and I think they're going to have troubles with this 430U, so I kind of want to help them with that. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out because we can see what's by the base. And at this point, I don't want to proceed forward in an area where Artie can hit me. And then, not to mention, we only have one medium guarding the base against 3 of them. So chances are that's not going to win, and I need to get back. We do have a tank destroyer over there, so we got a good chance of him going up there to reset. But I don't ever expect any of my teammates to actually go back and reset, because there's been too many games where they haven't done so. Like I say in my other videos, a lot of people just, it feels like a lot of people just would rather lose the game than get damaged in their tank for whatever reason. I do not know. So it's 6-4, it's pretty close. The rest of my 0 line is dead. And honestly, that's why I didn't want to push up there. Unless, now if they had me with them, we probably would have made that push happen. However, who is going to come back for the base? We do have this Centurion 7-1, but he's kind of locked down since they have other tanks down the 1 line. Snapshot on that waffle, misses. Cutting it close here, we're down to 48 seconds, and I got this humongous hill to climb. Artie shuts down 1 more tank, and then our waffle and our TVP kill 2 Arties. Their other Artie kills the last Carnarvon. Now this Sturv B wants to come reset, and I'm fine with that. I'll take the help if I can get it. Usually if there's one guy capping, the other 2 are set up to hit the guys that are going to reset the cap. Rather than helping him cap and winning the game, they want to try to farm some damage, I imagine. So there's Trinity on the left, and my Sturv B drives way out there. And I kind of want to cover this guy, but I don't want to take shots for it. Like, I know there's a waffle on my right, but I want to keep my Sturv B alive. So I knock this building down, and I start to back up so I can get shots. But it's too late. Sturv B drove way too far out in the open. That was unnecessary. Proceeds to kill himself. Shut down the Trinity. And then this TVP pokes up to try to shoot at me. I mean, I can't ask for more having all these tier 8s try to go up against this tank. Like, this tank's armor is subpar. It's good when used effectively, but it is hard to get this tank in the state that it needs to be effective with its armor. So I'm just kind of side scraping here, looking for that waffle, and he proceeded to push up. I don't know, he seems like he's looking for Artie, but to me that's so stupid because his Trinity went all the way down the 1 line, so why he's continuing to search around the 1 line for our last Artie is beyond me. Whatever, I load Hesh rounds for him, and he's not even looking at me, so it's going to be pretty easy. It's a good side scraping tank. However, if you're up against veterans, they can just pen you right in this little area above my repair kit here. That little notch that sticks out is a weak spot. It's kind of like a weak spot that the Panzer 7 has under the turret. Little round spot that flattens out when you're side scraping. But if you're fighting against new players, chances are they're not going to shoot at it. And honestly, as long as you're wiggling while you're side scraping, it's not that easy of a penetration to hit. So the lower plate is absolutely garbage on this. If you hit it, chances are you're going to break the motor, and these things get lit up on fire often. So if you can, just try to shoot it in the front half of the hull. If you can get pens in there, chances are you're going to blow its motor. It's potentially set it on fire. Alright, and now, let me grab. So I'm looking for Artie, and finally when our scout goes up to fight the Sturv B on their team, that's when Artie gets spotted. So that means I can safely go over there. I just didn't want Artie running down the 1 line and getting on the cap, because I didn't want to have to drive all the way across the map just to drive all the way back across the map. Since I know where both of them are, I'm not too worried about it. The Sturv B does shut down the Scout, and our Artie's moving into a different location to hopefully try to support this VK100-01P. Now he's pretty healthy, so I feel like in that tank you can, like, this engagement shouldn't be too tough. There's a 40-43 in our Sturvo. Artie just hit the VK. And I was deciding whether I want to try to cut him off on the A line or if I should just proceed. And I figure as long as Artie's following me, we can jump on cap and potentially start the cap before they even get down to our base and make them come back to us. So that was my little hesitation there. Now this VK100-01P is pretty eager. He gets Artie spotted. At this point, I'm thinking the Sturvo is either like up in B4, trying to overwatch him, or he's potentially making his way to our base, or he's trying to find a flank to get us as we kill Artie. Now the VK100-01 goes in. I asked him to fall back. He didn't listen, and then I snapped this Sturvo, and I had my Hesh still in because Hesh is really good for the Swedish tank destroyers, as well as Artie being a one-shot. I don't really have to aim at all, and I know I'm going to get damage on it. So this VK doesn't have a big job to do, and he fails. So to me, I'm like, why would you even make that push if you can't take it down? So I know Artie just shot, but he's starting to look at me, so I'm going to shut him down. And really I took advantage of that because the Sturvo backed up. If the Sturvo was looking for a shot on me, I would have just let Artie live and take the Sturvo first. And now as I come over here, usually those tanks have no gun elevation, but since he's using the mountain, he can elevate up into my lower plate as I go down to crush him. I didn't shoot him before I crushed him, but shut the game down, 15 pens, 10 crits, 6 kills. It was definitely a good game. It was not an ace tanker. I'm not sure what you gotta do to ace this thing. I can't imagine that it's much more than this. Just because it's kind of a niche heavy tank. So I feel like niche heavy tanks are easier to ace. So you can see my driver's not even 100% yet, and he's got BIA and Mentor. These are the first two that I always train, and then he's learning Snapshot right now. Normally for heavies I do repairs, but I have a toolbox and a large repair kit and premium consumables to kind of combat that. But it will be high on my priority list. When it comes to heavy tanks, I want my gun to be working, so I can brawl and not miss shots. Even though this tank has really good gun handling, I'm just going to make it even better. Alright, so enough about that. Let's get into the game. It's 5,000 damage, 0 assisted, 1,200 blocked, 6 destroyed, and I mean I was beating up on some tier 8s here, so it wasn't that impressive of a game. So now you're like, well, why are you showing us this? So my E50, where is he? H2 Hammer, whatever, was platooned up with his other buddy, which is an E50. Together they combined for about 2k damage, and he sent me a GG. That was a fun game to watch. And then as I was about to get into the next game, this VK100-01P sends me a message. Nice helping me out. Shame. I just come back with, are you serious? I just won us that game. I did ask him to halt so we could go in there together, but you couldn't apparently. and I don't know if he speaks very good English. He comes back with, after spectating, I was in an 8, you were in a 10 with no damage. And then he said I was in a platoon, so I couldn't hear or he was in a platoon, which was party chat, and couldn't hear me tell him to halt. So then I just let him know, dude, I used the communication in game because I knew you were in a platoon, so you would know to halt. And if you want to go in hero mode, that's fine, but don't yell at me when you proceed into hero mode and you can't handle it. I definitely used to be in that guy's shoes, especially if I was platooned up with my buddies. I wanted to be the guy that drove in there and then won the game, or win the game for the team. So I just kind of felt like it was a little resentment of him messing that up, and then just being able to blame me for him failing that engagement. That's really all I got for you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.